Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
And,
Keith, I'm looking in the chat here because we're live on YouTube. And
Mhm.
Bad Beef, your buddy,
Yes,
is saying hello. He said my mini one-on-one with Keith in last
that's
night's
right.
chat was the highlight of my year.
Mine too. I met Bad Beef. Bad Beef is the first one that says hi in the YouTube room. He gives these YouTube memberships to people. It's a very fun time, and he is a real person. I usually come in like 8:30 on Wednesdays into the chat Eastern time. I went in a couple minutes early. He was there. His image was a piece of steak. And then because it was just us, he turned on his camera, and yeah, he's a cool dude. Nice to meet you, Beef.
That's very cool. And like you mentioned, he does give he gifts Keith and the Girl
Yeah.
YouTube memberships, and he did it again today. And
That's
Shannon
sweet.
picked up on it. So
Good.
shout out to her as well.
Good. Yeah, we had our final poker tournament before we chat. You don't have to play poker, but there's free poker. Then we have the best of the best fight for prizes every so often. It happens to be this Sunday. You'll have an email if you're in the know. And then I realized, hey, are there any chicks in this? And I asked Kendra before the show, I go, are there women in this? And Kendra looked it up a little bit, and and then I said, oh, is that interesting to talk about this on the show? And Kendra said,
No.
well, come on, women. God damn it.
But for the record, I won 3 times.
Right. You made up for all women. I don't know. Check your gender.
And also, I'm going to start identifying everybody as non-binary in the chat. So we don't have to think about it.
Okay. All right. A lot of sisses will be there. By the way, have you heard? So Elon Musk declared that cis is a slur on Twitter.
Did he actually? I heard it was like him thinking about, okay, now I can't.
Elon Musk condemned the word cis and cisgender as slurs on Twitter. He said, the word cis or cisgender are considered slurs on this platform. Repeated targeted harassment against any account will cause the harassment accounts to receive, at minimum, temporary suspensions. It came from this right-wing commentator, James Esses. He said, yesterday, after posting a tweet saying that I reject the word cis and don't wish to be called it, I received a slew of messages from trans activists calling me sissy. That's clever. C-I-S-S-Y. Right? Hey, so who's the snowflake? Calling me a sissy and telling me that I am cis whether I want to or not. And I guess he's friends with Elon, and Elon said, well, that's a slur then.
That's perfect. What if we put a dash, like C-S cisgender? Like when you do God and then you can throw out the paper because you didn't write the O. Did everybody else throw out
being a man, I don't need extra adjectives to it.
But doesn't cis mean in the conservative world like extra, like you're extra male?
Right. You should. Right. You're like, the best male possible.
Like it. I mean, if you could interpret it like that, but cis means that your brain matches your body, right? Because trans means your brain doesn't match your body in terms of like biology and female, male, whatever. So cis means you're male brained and male bodied. What's the problem?
Yeah.
We should go extra. You're extra.
When I meet my friends, I go, the cis is in town. Like, I'm clear. I'm all man. It doesn't take away from nothing, but I'm just saying. So yes, you're right. They should be proud that it's alpha.
And at the same time, I'm like, fine, I won't call you that, but let's just take note that you're the one who started it. You're the one who had to say someone was gay. You're the one who had to say someone was transgender. You're the one who always has to go, what are you? What are you going to put your bits into next? You're always the one. So we're just going, all right, if we're this, then there is a word for you as well. You like wording things, we'll just name you. But I don't.
Yeah. Budweiser, Bud Light. Anheuser-Busch makes them. They did a little transgender cute thing with Dylan Mulvaney on Instagram saying, hey, congratulations, you've transitioned for a year. You're a big social media influencer. That, of course, had people shooting up beer and breaking them in the stores. Did you see those videos where people go into stores and they just throw all the alcohol and beer off the shelf? Like
No.
anything that might have to do with Anheuser-Busch, and they just break it on the floor. They get arrested, of course.
I mean, if it's hysterical, it's historical. I don't know. Like,
Right.
I don't know how you could be mad at beer like so quickly that much.
But the right-wing people that were disgusted by that really did make a difference. Anheuser-Busch, since the Mulvaney thing, has lost $20 billion in sales. Bud Light no longer being the number one beer.
Oh,
And they, of course, have their other beers, Anheuser-Busch, and people that are able to figure out who owns what really, really cost them $20 billion.
okay. You know what makes me mad about this? I wish Diet Coke did something egregious back in the day when I was addicted.
Right.
When you like something so much, like I like Diet Coke, like what I understand. And Keith, you were a Bud Light drinker when you drank, right? Like
I
you,
enjoyed it. Yeah.
and I think like when there was no Bud Light, you did Miller Lite, but is that the same company?
No, but it's the same. It's the same kind of thing. I ended up I like Bud. I liked Bud Light Platinum was ideal.
Would you be able to Chick-fil-A them? You know what I mean? Like
When I
can't
drank,
do
yeah, sure.
yeah.
Would I be able to? I wouldn't, but yeah, sure.
So you
I'd
would
buy
be
extra because people are weirdos. I'd be such an alcoholic, but I'd tell myself I'm doing it for the greater good. But I'm like, do they own Jack Daniels? Okay.
Ryan V says Bud Light is literally the only beer I can drink. See, that's what I think. I think that people have their drinks. It's weird that $2 billion worth can go somewhere else. What does that tell you about every other habit that you have?
Right. No, Stella was good, but just the right amount of spicy. So yeah, there's certain beers that, I mean, beer. Watch this, guys. This is surprisingly drinkable. I'm like, those are words, and we're supposed to be like, okay, yeah, all right. You'd be so surprised at 5% alcohol per volume. You'll be surprised you can even fucking drink it.
That's the thing. I don't want just statistics of Bud Light. I now want statistics of Miller Lite, not necessarily Guinness, because I don't think you could switch from something like Bud Light to Guinness.
I can't.
I would like to know across the board, let's say about beer and then alcohol. Did those $2 billion go to something else? Or did we find a way to help people break a habit?
For the record, you said 2 billion, 20 billion.
Sorry. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a lot. Oh my God.
And you don't want to defend poison, you know what I mean? But it's like, God damn it, people.
Right.
Fuck them all, I guess, but God damn it.
Yeah, I mean, Bud Light is almost water, so it's almost hydrated.
I thought I was hydrating myself. I go to take a piss, it comes out white. I guess I'm like, guess I'm clear. That's fantastic news.
Man, if you never knew I was Alanonic, that line would clue you right in. It's practically water.
We have to give an update on the great, what is it? OceanGate Expeditions submarine, or they call it a submersible. It can't be called a submarine because it's not on its own. That's why it's called submersible. Because it needs something to drop it off and it needs something to pick it back up. And a sub is on its own, a real submarine.
Okay. Was that in fine print or right. You know what I mean? Ooh.
I just saw all these people saying submersive and I'm like, what? So I had to look it up.
I mean, this is the most 2020 hindsight as a people we can get together.
Yes.
Right?
You guys don't know what a submersible is? I'm like, you motherfucker.
Right.
No, I didn't know.
Right.
I didn't know. Fucking Navy expert. Stockton Rush, the founder and CEO of OceanGate Expeditions, he was on that submarine, is on the submarine with 4 other people, 4 billionaires, paying $250,000 each.
The person who runs it or owns it, who did you say?
Yeah. Okay. Stockton Rush.
So the person who owns it
is on the sub.
Yet headquarters waited 8 hours to call for help. Yes.
Normally you lose connection about an hour, 45 minutes. They said headquarters waited 8 hours to report it missing.
That's so stupid. Your boss was on the sub. Just go
they lost connection. Excuse me. They lost connection an hour, 45 minutes. They should have said they didn't. They waited 8 hours.
Right. But I would think because your boss is on the sub, you can always be like, hey, this guy's sub didn't work. You know? Like, I don't know why they were hesitating.
Right. Well, because I guess you'd lose some stock, wouldn't you?
Yeah, or bodies.
There's a fuck up.
Get it.
Right. Or
Yeah,
bodies or
yeah.
bodies. I mean, you probably need a name change, right? They're not going to close down the whole company because they lost one sub. This is what they do, and they have equipment to do under like maybe they just go on dolphin sightseeing now, but it's going to be the same company they have to spray paint over now. Right?
Oh, I read the chat and then spoiler. I got
It's
the
not good.
spoiler.
It's
Oh
not good. This
no.
just in. This just in.
Uh,
The landing frame and rear cover of the missing Titan submersible has been discovered on the ocean floor. It points to the vessel suffering a catastrophic implosion that will have claimed all 5 lives on board. Debris field has been found on Thursday. It's in quotes. The reporter doesn't even know what the fuck that means. Components of the sub were among the items. It would mean the sub suffered a crack and imploded under underwater pressure, instantly killing all 5 men on board.
okay.
This is an unconventional submarine, somebody in the know said. That rear cover is the pointy end of it, and the landing, you can see pictures at keepingthegirl.com right now. That rear cover is the pointy end of it, and the landing frame is the little frame that it seems to sit on. It means the hull hasn't yet been found, but 2 very important parts of the whole system have been discovered, and that would not be found unless it's fragmented.
Okay.
That really indicates that the worst case scenario, which is a catastrophic failure, has happened, an implosion. The only saving grace is that it would have been immediate, literally in milliseconds, and the men would have no idea what was happening.
Okay, that's okay. Because I was wondering if they were like, hey, something's wrong, and then they know they're about to implode. If it just imploded, I think everyone's saying this, and it's the weirdest thing we can say to each other, but that's the best case scenario after 4 days of shitting yourself.
Right. It was fun to hate on billionaires, though, right? Can I still tell my jokes?
Boy,
So-
people are ready to hate billionaires.
Well, you got
At
a
least
feeling.
it was billionaires.
What's
Oh,
that joke?
okay.
What's that joke? What do you call 5 non-tax paying billionaires at the bottom of the ocean? A good start. You know, I mean, I didn't invent it. I didn't invent it. But look at that. I'm holding up a picture of the Titanic, you know, and you all know the same one. It's like the front of the ship, a brown shit is growing off it underwater. Who cares? Who cares?
It's an explosive good time.
Nat says, if I were a billionaire stuck at the bottom of the ocean, I would simply pull myself up from my bootstraps.
Oh my God.
How much tax money did these billionaires not pay for this $1 million search? That's interesting, I think.
Wait, why are we assuming these guys don't pay their taxes?
I've read things. I read about billionaires constantly.
Well, that's the government's problem, right?
What's my problem? But yeah.
No, I mean, that's
problem.
like who to blame, I mean.
Sure, if you can get away with it, what are you going to do?
Right. Yeah. If you're following the law and the law is on your side, like what are we doing here? We would volunteer our money.
So before we just found out that most likely these guys are all dead, I did put up the poll before the news in general. Would you have gone into that 5-person sub for free?
I like the for free part because
Never mind $250,000. By the way, it's like, hey guys, $250,000 was a round trip. Was a one-way trip. We didn't tell you it's not round trip.
oh God.
100% on our forums and 100% the poll on Reddit said no, I wouldn't go in that sub. I don't know if that's hindsight 100%, but I certainly wouldn't. Just by being cramped, I couldn't sit like that for what should be 10 hours.
Just because, like, I don't know that I want to be the first 10 in that, you know,
Right.
like I get like, we pioneered a couple things in our life, including podcasting, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with that.
Right.
I'm good. I'm the black sheep of my family. I'm good with being different like that.
I'm making this up, but I'm picturing a billionaire probably wears some fucking god-awful strong cologne.
There has to be a rule that you weren't allowed to wear perfume or cologne.
And then everybody smells like shit, and it's like, should I have worn the cologne now?
No.
They probably died from their shit.
Yeah.
From Sunday to Thursday. That you would die from the fecal matter.
I imagine.
They didn't have a toilet. They had Ziploc bags. How many do you think they had? Probably one for each person. Worst case.
You think anyone used it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that I can hold it in for the team.
If I think I'm going to die, especially, I'd like to go out empty.
Hmm. But
But yeah,
now I'm going out smelling my own shit. I mean,
I
that's
think
better than smelling other people's shit.
when you realize you can't breathe so good,
Yeah,
I'm taking a shit.
that's fair. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And they used up that oxygen. I mean, why wouldn't you? You're fucking yelling about how you're king of the world, going down, billionaires aren't fucking funny. And they're just chewing up the oxygen with stupidity. That's true.
It's chewing up the oxygen, not being funny. That's how they were grieving.
Yeah. Yeah. They weren't even interesting with their jokes. They were just eating up oxygen, saying the stupidest fucking shit. Hugging that 19-year-old like, son, your friends don't get this experience. They sure don't, Dad. Can I shit in the Ziploc bag again? Why'd they get sandwich size?
Whose shit is ever a sandwich size?
Right?
Especially if you have to aim.
And he's probably making shit up, the CEO. He's down there. He's like, don't worry, your shit will compress this deep.
Let me
and
tell
it'll
you
come
something.
out nice.
If I park the car right outside of my place, in one day I will collect more bird shit than a fucking sandwich bun.
Right. That's
what
true.
The fuck?
Oh, and then yeah, so they weren't washing for days if they didn't die right away. And you're probably throwing up from hunger too, because it's not a billionaire excursion that I've ever been on, but I have been on these boat trips, and they give you 2 pieces of bologna and a sandwich, and they wrote, "We'll give you a meal whenever you signed up." So let's say there was caviar on there. One of the assholes chugged it like soup in 2 seconds as soon as they got nervous. Sorry, we're out of food.
Oh my God.
There's no room for food in that sub. Again, KeithandGirl.com. Look at those pictures. You've probably seen the same ones, but there's no room for food.
Okay, so Bad Beef is saying I watched a YouTube documenting a previous trip down, and
Right.
I can't with this next sentence. I can't. Please prepare yourself. I don't know. Fucking trigger alert.
Okay.
And they watched Titanic on an iPad going down. No, then Keith, you were right. You were right. You watched a fucking
That's funny
movie.
to them.
That's, you know what?
I go up into space. I watch Apollo 11.
One time I was on a flight and somebody was watching a Flight 93 and I was appalled.
I saw that too. That happened to me too.
Why?
Yeah.
It's so stupid. Because all they know is the word meta from Facebook.
Right.
Wow, really? Tell me you're joking, Bad Beef, because that's so uncomfortable to me. You don't know how to be interesting, so you have to pay $250,000 to say an interesting story. You ever notice that people who are not interesting have interesting things that they did, and somehow you're still bored as they're telling you?
Yes.
Why? Because they would spend $250,000 to do something so unique and watch fucking Netflix on the way down. Holy shit.
It is. I want to hear.
Now I'm judging them. R.I.P. you guys. What a horrible way to go. We were so worried about you yesterday, and today we're just making fun of all your life decisions.
I'll cry later. It's breaking news. So right now I didn't have time to process, and this is how I deal. Speaking of how you deal, the stepson of one of the billionaires isn't on the boat, but the internet's judging him because he tweeted out the same night that it was announced that these guys are lost. He goes, "Hey, having fun at a Blink-182 concert." I'm like, okay, do you know that your stepdad is, we're all fucking nervous. And he wrote, my family would have wanted me to go. Okay. Then after that, and somebody should be arrested because I think OnlyFans, what you rate should be private. But anyway, it's not. And a woman tweeted, or, on OnlyFans, put a picture of her ass and then wrote, "Can I sit on it?" And he wrote back, "Yes, please." Then, there was a picture of the ass. And then he wrote, this guy, Brian, "Please keep my family in your prayers."
What? Wait. Okay. Start over with this OnlyFans.
Here's a picture of a chick naked. Can I sit on you?
Okay. That's the caption of her picture.
That's her caption.
Okay, very cute.
I don't know if they've been talking or she just sends it to everybody, or it's just if you go to her OnlyFans.
I see.
Brian wrote, "Please keep my family in your prayers." Then an hour later, yes, please. Heart emoji face. Yes, please sit on it. Sit on me.
Okay.
That's all. Just interesting. So now when he got the news today, is he like, oh, thank God. I don't gotta say why it wasn't crack. There's no wrong way to grieve, but this guy's really trying to find one.
Yeah, there's an understanding about step parents, right? And he is just in that extreme, isn't he?
Right.
Yeah. Also, didn't think about this until after we recorded yesterday. These are billionaires in a submarine, and they waited 8 hours until they alerted someone. Could there be some kind of mischief here? What's it called?
You signed a waiver
No,
where I get your money somehow.
no,
I mean, your will.
Billionaires have to have a lot of protection because people want them dead a lot because other people can benefit from their death. What if somebody can benefit from one of these people's death, bribed someone who's in charge of something that
could be. It could be. That's not crazy.
I mean, this is they're worth like as much as a president in a lot of ways, in a lot of in their private circle, there's this high level. They usually have to walk around with guards. They have to protect their children from being kidnapped. I mean, these are so
yeah, I see that. I wonder if James Cameron, he had to be getting phone calls. He's seen the records of the Titanic in person 33 times. In fact, he says that he didn't even make the Titanic movie because he was passionate about that. He knew he can get the studio to pay to visit the Titanic wreckage.
Now, honestly, knowing that would make me more inclined to go on this expedition, because it's 33 times. That seems like a quick trip to,
But I feel like I've seen somehow him in a little capsule going down. He looked kind of comfortable, James Cameron. When I look at this tin can, I go, no fucking way.
Okay.
And again, I don't think it's in hindsight. But are people calling him and he's not picking up the phone?
Who would absolutely he's getting phone. Absolutely.
So he's not answering.
If you knew him in person, come on. Yes.
He hasn't publicly commented. He did say some time ago, I made Titanic because I wanted to dive to the shipwreck, not because I particularly wanted to make the movie. When I learned some other guys had dived to the Titanic to make an IMAX movie, I said, I'll make a Hollywood movie to pay for an expedition and do the same thing. And I loved that first taste and I wanted more. I call it bearing witness. I get to bear witness to a miracle that's down there all the time. What's the miracle? When the iceberg hit, were people on the ship going, what a miracle? What's the miracle? Can you make money if you have a giant, some 3 times the size of a Titanic, like a hotel, and just let it drown and then sell excursions to find an even bigger miracle?
I think, aren't miracles supposed to be good? Isn't a miracle something that wasn't supposed to happen, but did anyway, but is beneficial to you?
I died, but you didn't see it coming. What a miracle. I did not see that coming. James Cameron has made dozens of dives to the ocean floor and even helped design a submarine to dive to the deepest area of the ocean floor. That'd be the Mariana Trench, the Challenger Deep, it's called. So yeah, he had to get some phone calls. He's like, I'm really on vacation.
Yeah,
right now.
You're waiting for him to have a.
I want an opinion. Minimum, just because that's interesting. But yeah, I would like to know. Did you make a phone call? Hey, do you have Deep 6-9, whatever the fuck I called it? Because maybe we can be never mind heroes. We have to save a life.
Yeah, it'd be weird because he'd be like 33 times and never exploded, but I could say it'd be worth it if I did.
And he doesn't even have to have an opinion. Because what would the opinion be, right? Sorry, good things cost good things. You cheap billionaires not looking into anything. 250,000. You could have built this yourself, this submarine that you were inside. So okay, I don't need that, but I am curious. Did he deliberately not take calls? Or did he say, hey, there's nothing you could do? Or did he say, actually, a friend's borrowing it? Or did he say, I have to be there for the insurance and I'm in, Maui right now?
I would have nothing to say. because this will blow over, and then I'm just left with my thoughts on my movie, not the thoughts on the death of somebody who died trying to see what I saw 33 times once.
Maybe he's
No,
looking at
thank
like
you.
maybe he's looking at like he'd be a failure if he tries.
No, I'm looking at it like, look at, you just read a different quote for him because you had to read a quote for him. So
Right.
either my quote is going to be about the tragic death of 5 people, or my quote will be about these wonderful
Right.
situations that I got to be in. And then in 5 minutes, we're going to forget this whole thing. Maybe they'll try to get a quote for him next year. And then he's just known for Titanic, and that's it.
I'm seeing here that Elon Musk is going to send down the Chilean soccer team underwater. Is this true? Anyways, that's what's going on, and that
Wow.
it looks like for sure they're dead.
You think?
That's what's looking
It
like.
looks like.
It looks like it.
Through our telescope, yes. There's,
Right.
it's perspective. I didn't do any deep diving myself, but I'm going to believe that this is the science truth.
I'm reading that at Harvard Medical School.
And we have to take that seriously. Harvard Medical
Harvard Medical School. I had the hat, but I've earned it. $30. I've earned it. 7 people, including the morgue manager at Harvard Medical School, was arrested and charged with stealing and selling human remains from mortuaries at the Ivy League school and the University of Arkansas.
Costs a lot to go to school. Sell those body parts.
The arrest involved an underground network that robbed, but you can't include 7 fucking people. 6 of them sound like kids minimum, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to steal bodies, sell it, and nobody talks.
No, that's stupid.
The arrest involved an underground network that robbed corpses donated for scientific research, including the bodies of 2 stillborn infants, if you're curious, at Harvard Medical School's Anatomical Gifts Program and an Arkansas mortuary.
That's a very weird gift program name.
Cedric Lodge, 55, stole the remains from the university morgue where he worked and sold the body parts online with the help of his wife, Denise, 63. Oh, these are adults. Associates Katrina McLean, 44, Joshua Taylor, 46, and Matthew Lampy, 52.
Now, what did these people do for the school? Because they don't sound smart.
Officials said one of Lampy's clients, Jeremy Pauly, bought and sold body parts with him, with the 2 men exchanging more than $100,000. Pauly led detectives to Candace Chapman Scott, who was accused of stealing cadavers slated for cremation in Little Rock. Among the body parts sold included 2 desiccated faces. So I guess that means when you take the liquid out. McLean paid $600 for 2 faces. Seems cheap, but I don't know the going rate.
But what are these being used for? Like
we don't know that. We don't know that.
Because if they could still be used, then we got to do something about that. But the other thing is, you really thought that you could just keep doing this,
right?
And going to jail for stealing body parts was worth $100,000 that you had to split. Like, who
that you had to split 6 ways?
Ew, you are a loser. This is what you thought was gonna get you that vacation you wanted. Ugh.
Here's one. One was they sent somebody brains from somebody for $200. The memo read brains.
But if they're
I don't know what memo means. Are they texting? Lodge was fired from Harvard. Surprise, surprise. The defendants face conspiracy and the unlawful transportation of stolen goods charges, which carries 15 years behind bars because nobody knew what to name it.
By the way, that's more than rape. And this is after the person's death. I was just going to claim humanity. That's my body parts. I'm happy for science to use my body parts. And if there's another train that can take me to the next thing where the remaining body parts can be used, please, by all means.
Yeah.
But can we just do it on the up and up? I give you permission to do that second sale.
The owners of a California taqueria chain has been ordered to pay $70,000 in damages to employees because the boss said, hey, I brought in a person that's a priest. Confess your sins to him. Apparently you can't do that. He didn't know that.
What?
He brought in somebody that pretended to be a priest.
To do what? To
find out if they did any sins at work. The priest was only concerned with what you did at work. 35 employees that went through this.
I swear to God, if this is now going to report the kind of stuff that they confessed, whoever this newspaper, wherever you're getting this from, needs a jail sentence. What the fuck?
Right. Agreed. Right. An employee told the court the priest urged workers to get the sins out and asked them if they had stolen from the employer, been late for work, had done anything to harm their employer, or if they had bad intentions toward their employer. I had a Nico, popular restaurant in New York City, and a nice restaurant, but he had signs up everywhere behind the scenes. Oh, Nico is only your friend. Do not trust other people. Like, he really tried to get everybody, turned against each other, and they did. They ratted you out if you broke a glass, and you had to pay for it yourself. That's something Nico would have done. It's also something my dad would have done. My dad would actually say, I'm making this up, but I picture it. Hey, I'm a priest.
Mhm.
So how about I just, you might as well confess your sins to me. I think I was trained with flying colors to separate the person from the sin. So I don't see why you wouldn't want to just, and of course they look at you sideways and you'd probably get fired for not doing it.
Well, I have a question about this. You were raised Catholic, and this is a Catholic thing, right? To confess like this for a
Yes.
priest.
Yeah.
So, but do you in Catholicism, first of all, everyone working here is Catholic? That's one,
Right.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess it's also an immigration thing, and it's like, and I'll do whatever my boss says. I'm a little nervous of them.
Right. But let's say you are a Catholic. Is this allowed to can confession
No.
happen anywhere?
Can it happen anywhere? Yeah, it can happen anywhere. It could,
Okay.
but no priest says, just want to hear about your work crimes today.
There's not like a questionnaire usually.
Well, when I was 12, no. You started here at 23.
Yeah.
Let's start there.
I think you're right that probably it's just a scare tactic and an
Of course it
authority
is.
figure, and it didn't even matter if it was a priest or anybody else. You're dealing with people who are in a bad situation.
Yes.
So yeah.
An employee told the court the priest urged workers to get the sins out, asked them if they stole from the company, et cetera, et cetera. Maria Parra, an employee at Taqueria, was one of the workers who fell victim. As soon as the confession started, I found the conversation to be strange and unlike normal confessions, where I would tell a priest about the sins I wanted to confess. You're also just stupid. Like, yeah, do it. I'd probably, if 34 people did it and I was the 35th person, I'd do it. But no, you're not getting a single fucking thing out of me. It'd be like when I was a kid and you're trying to you're lying to your parents. I'm gonna be honest. I was late to work once, but I stayed after to make up for it and clocked out and refilled the ketchups. But you're really you really don't think the priest is gonna go back to the guy? This is happening in work. It's a trick. It's a fuck. How wouldn't it be a trick?
The thing is I would just think that I'm only telling my boss things How does your boss not know if you're late? How does your boss not know?
Maybe like he wants to find out that somebody else clock you in on a day I wasn't there. And that's going to be that, because that could be a venial sin, but if you get it off your chest now.
I see. Because I don't think that's wrong.
The Department of Labor only uncovered this scam after investigation into unpaid wages. That's the thing too. These motherfuckers that are all like, let's do something so weird to see if my employees are cheating me. Meanwhile, they're cheating them. That's why they think this idea. You've been not paying them. The owners
both things are a way. Like his brain thinks, how can I cheat my employees? Because this tactic is, how can I cheat my employees? You're cheating them. You're telling them this is a priest. You're telling them it's confession. I mean, this is a high belief system that that should be like some sort of law that you can't tell someone specifically that religion is coming to them and it's not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and people let themselves get so stupid with religion. Like, but wouldn't you like the idea that a priest just comes to work and saves your soul a little bit?
Sure. And who would pretend to be a priest, right? Because you're supposed to think godlike.
Sure. Owners, let's see. The owners denied employees overtime hours. Overtime being, of course, over 40 hours a week. In addition to the $70,000 in damages, Taqueria Garibaldi is now also required to pay $70,000 in back pay to employees. They also have to pay $5,000 in civil money penalties due to the willful nature of their violations. Additionally,
and this guy is going to jail.
Additionally, the Department of Labor says the owners threaten employees with retaliation and adverse immigration consequences. There you go. For cooperating with the department, and fired one worker who they believed had complained to the department.
Oof.
Why wasn't he in the sub? God damn it.
Oof. You really, I mean, as an immigrant to this country, you are really beholden to your employer. If they don't want to fill out that paperwork, and they have to pay money to keep you here. So they have to pay extra and fill out paperwork for you. And if they don't want to,
Yeah.
Most of the time, I think, people fill out their own paperwork and pay it themselves and just have somebody sponsoring them so that they can have a name and a citizen behind their wanting of staying here. But fuck, man.
Yeah.
That's
I got to
rough.
talk to a priest. Fuck. I'm calling my last employee. I'm gonna break down boxes again. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got you. They got you good. Big news. By the way, big news. Look at this. I'm wearing a gray tank top today. So how exciting.
Wow.
Well, what
I'm wearing the gray sleeves.
I'm not disgusting. I have 50 of these shirts from the gym. Also, I like wearing the same shirt because I want people to kind of think I recorded 3,600 episodes in one take. It's like the audiobook for...
I record 100 at a time.
The audiobook for The Great American Novel. It ends and I go, one take. That's what I want people to be thinking. Sunday, of course, is the Poker Champs. You'll get an email if you've been playing along. This Monday, though, is the big battle. Let's be honest. Watch for free right in your living room. Meet us at Keith and the Girl YouTube page. Silent trailers. The greatest game show ever made. The New York Times agrees. You're going to love it. It's always fun. And the guests, of course, Mike Kaplan, Billy Wayne Davis, Shane Moss. That's interesting. That's an interesting group of people. Kendall, let's go around. Is it easy for you to pull one up? That's kind of rude of me. Okay.
No, so I'm going to watch a trailer on silent, just like I do during silent trailers this Monday.
Okay.
And if you're listening live, play along. But even if you're not, play along, see if you can get which trailer, which movie I'm talking about in this description before Keith. Here we go.
All right.
Okay, so what year is this? 2014. I thought this was older. Okay.
Okay, now so that could be a clue, but probably not.
That's what's
thought
fun.
It was older. That's a hoot.
You get my opinion. So if you know me, you got a little leg up. Okay, so I think that's a fancy car that's coming out. Yes, he's like driving it, with the little, like, how you let it fly in the back. What's that called?
Tailspin?
Yeah, a little bit. He's like a cool guy. He's
in a
cool
fancy
guy.
car, though.
Like a sporty fancy car.
Okay. Magnum PI, the movie.
He's got a dog, like a
summer school.
Dogs. Maybe there's a basset house. Very cute dog.
Turner and Hooch.
No. 2014. Don't forget. Let's see. Ooh, now someone's kicking his butt. Ooh, somebody broke in. Oh boy, he is not doing well. No. Oh no, he's in a house now, and now he's digging up what maybe could be. Oh, he's
John Wick.
Yes.
Boom.
How did you get that?
I knew it 2 seconds earlier too. So it was I wrote down dog. 2014 did not help me.
I told you dog, car, and now someone's beating him up.
And he loves cars. And I knew, and he's digging something. That's when he's digging his old gun and tokens.
I didn't see a lot of violence in this. That's why I wanted to watch this trailer, is to see. I never really saw what it is. Oh, and you know what else? You want to do another one? Because I didn't see a trailer for another thing that we've been talking about.
Okay, sure.
Okay. I'll just get it pulled up here.
Did I beat everybody?
You did. Ryan V first thought it was Doctor Strange and then got John Wick right.
Doctor Strange? Yeah. It's 2014. Doctor Strange? We do that kind of thing. Make people feel sad. And it kind of slows them down from talking, so it works.
Dorothea says, is it Schindler's List? LOL, Dorothea. But Ryan got it first, so congratulations to Ryan. Okay. Here we go. This looks like a cartoon.
Is it a cartoon?
Yes, an animation.
Okay.
The kid is in the back of a cop car.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So do not fuck with the kid, sometimes also known as the king.
Why would you know that?
Why wouldn't I know it?
Glitter says that's Sixth Sense. Actually, that could be right. Why
It's
would
cartoonish.
you?
Well, you did say we kind of talked about it, so maybe that was in the back of my head.
You talk about movies constantly,
That's true.
and there's so fucking many of them.
Right.
I didn't know this is what the new Spider-Man looked like. Very modern. Wow.
Very modern.
Very
and
impressive.
Crazy, and especially the second one that's out now, Across the Spider-Verse. They mix all these different art styles, and it's jarring in a good way, and then you get used to it. But they'll take like Spider-Man, the art that you're probably looking at right now, mixed in with a universe where it's all Da Vinci art that's real. And so he fights a one-dimensional flying eagle that Da Vinci drew. It's crazy. It's so good.
And I know that you're describing it, and in your head you're going, this is the stupidest description.
This is stupid.
And
yeah.
Is she even listening? I'm listening.
Right.
But I get it. I want to watch it. I'm not into superhero movies, but it's blowing everyone's mind.
It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah. Even the trailer is amazing.
You'll know like 10 minutes. You'll know 10 minutes in if you like it.
By the way, John Wick, I didn't hear any of the, obviously I'm watching on silent. There's sarcasm just in watching it. Like cool guy sarcasm. Is that him the whole time? It's just cool guy sarcasm action film. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I read the John Wick book as a kid. I was very excited. It's like, and then John turned to his left and everybody was dead. Then to his right, he killed them too. Chapter 2.
Like when you read, do you mean you put the book up to your forehead and
subtitles?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So be there. Do not be square. All right. YouTube. You can go to keithandthegirl.com/silent trailers. How about that? All right, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. We'll see you this weekend in various ways.